Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming here to listen. My name is Lê Đình Bảo Duy from Ho Chi Minh City University of Technology and Education. Today, I would like to present the topic finite element analysis of relationship between tiny torus and initial law of Bohr connection by Wang Minyu, Hongli Zhu, and Li Bin Wang. My content includes 4 parts. The first part, I will talk about introduction. The second is method. The third is result. And the last is conclusion. To begin with introductions, both charts are widely used in mechanical justice as they are easy to be assembled and disassembled. Test charts must be tiniest when in tons. However, an accepted initial law will lead to yield in even factors in the ball. An insufficient initial law cannot provide the equal claiming for an eventually cause justice losing and fail. It is hard to measure the initial law during the assembly process, so the common practice is using torus width to regulate the tiniest tool, but only using tools when it's not enough. For that reason, determining the relationship between tiny tools in initial law is very important to maintaining the reliability of the both charts. The next, I will talk about method. To determine relationship between tiny tools in initial law use finite element analysis. Finite element analysis include finite element models, mesh material prototype, contact conditional, and boundary conditional and law. For general nuts and bow with row trace without lubrication, the short form tools initial law equation could be represented in equation where T is input tool, P is the achieved integers, law D is the nominal diameter of trace, and K is a non-decimal factor whose value is affected by the friction and contact condition between surfaces. In conclusion, many factors can affect the relationship between tools and initial law. Now I want to reserve the receipt include effects of friction, effects of peace, effects of assembly cleanness, effects of Young moduli, and effects of chain handling exponent. The first research I will talk about effects of friction. The tool initial law covers corresponding to different friction coefficients are above and compared with the theoretical coefficients plus through equation to find exit in 5 figures. Figures show that friction coefficient has great inclusion on the relationship, especially the larger the friction coefficient, the smaller the initial law of both at the same tannin through. The second lesson I will talk about effects of pitch. Pitch is one of the parameters in equation to find and set the true initial low converse corresponding to different pitches are attained in compared with the theoretical curves plot through equation to find and set which are present in physics. It observes that pitch almost has no influence on relationship between torus and initial low even if the result of finite element analysis are in accordance with theoretical research. The third research I will talk about effects of assembly cleanliness. Connection between the bow and the bow hole is cleanly fit. The greater the assembly cleanly, the greater the effective contact radius of the contact between the nerve face and upper surface of joint. Physics results that the true initial low relationship between significantly effective by assembly cleanly for the same target through of 110 Newton meters. The fourth reason I will talk about effects of Young moduli. When tannin is at the same through of 110 Newton meters, the greater the lattice modulus of joint material, the less of deformities caused by compression. The true initial low curves corresponding to different modulus relations as shown in figures is above that the true initial low relationship is not significantly effects of Young modulus for the same targets through of 110 Newtons meters, similar to the effects of assembly cleanliness. The last result I will talk about effects of chain hardening exponent. Stress at the roof of press, especially at the first edges stress group, many except you trains of both materials due to stress concentration. Therefore, practice deformations just start from the first edge stress in the process of tanning. There is no longer in linear relationship between tannin through and initial low with the increase in through after practice deformation, but tannin through initial low trends like become a curve at the top with the increase throws after the bow start to yield. And the final conclusion based on a comparison with theoretical relationship between truth and initial law. The following conclusion to be drawn. Verify the methods used in this study and provide a theoretical basis for determining the tannin truth for both joint choices. Fashion, coefficient has very influence on the relationship between truth and initial law. Thank you for taking time out to listen my presentation.